Hi, good day. My name is Joan Lamle. I'm a naturopathic consultant, co-owner of the Maranatha Health Food Store and Vegetarian Restaurant, where we provide health products, all natural health products, and wonderful, tasty vegan meals for those who want to embark on a healthier lifestyle. I'm also one of the directors of Complete Healing Through the Laws of Health, where we help persons who have their health challenges and would want to use natural remedies to help get rid of these. I specialize in women's health, and in doing so, one of the things that we have to look at or encourage persons to use is herbal teas. No, because of that, we come into contact with persons who are regular tea drinkers. And we want to know, is this really necessary? Should we be drinking tea? What are some of the teas we should be drinking if we should be? And what what are what's the benefit of this? So we are going to embark a little and look at this topic. Come join us, and I hope you will be blessed by what you will learn this afternoon. So, what is tea? That is what we are looking at. What is tea? All right, the objectives of this presentation is to look at what is tea, some of our common herbal teas, how teas are prepared, and some useful teas that we have. All right. So what is tea? Tea is the most widely consumed beverage in the world after water, and that alone is very mind-boggling. It is popular for its cooling, slightly bitter, and astringent flavor. Most people prefer the regular and widely available tea, while others like to experiment with various types of tea. Also, some persons incorrectly call all hot beverages tea. All right, so we look at our Milo, we look at our chocolate, our Nesquik, coffee, whatever it is. As long as it is hot, we just think it is tea, and that's what we call it. All right. Tea is a brand of herbs. This is what tea is really. Tea is not everything that is hot and steaming and in a cup. All right. So it's a brand of herbs, and these herbs would be our black tea, chai tea, green tea, white tea, or the oolong tea. These are actually what teas are because they are a set of herbs, and that is the name of these herbs. All right. All right, there are all five of these teas are made from leaves of the same shrub, all right? And it's a Camellia sinensis shrub. That is what tea is really. So, but black tea is a type of tea, that is more oxidized than oolong, yellow, white, or the green teas. Black tea is generally stronger in flavor than other teas. All right, so it is a process. What is oxidation? Let me just tell you what we mean by that. And this is a process through which tea leaves are exposed to the air in order to dry and darken, contributing to the flavor, the aroma, and strength of different teas. Tea leaves which are fully oxidized will turn brown or black, while tea leaves that are not oxidized at all will remain green. So if you take up a tea and you look at it, a tea bag, and you see the leaves looking very dark, then you can say, oh, these are well oxidized. So they would have a little more concentration in them. And if you see they remain green, your green tea, then you know that those have not been oxidized. All right. So let's look at our types. This is our black tea. All right. This is our chai tea. If you look at it, they're a form of seeds. All right. The Masai chai is a tea beverage made by boiling black tea in milk and water with a mixture of aromatic herbs and spices. All right. So it's a matter of how it is done that it is called the masala chai tea. All right, green tea is a tea that is made from the Camellia sinensis leaf and buds that have not undergone the same withering and oxidation process used to make oolong teas and black teas. All right, remember we talk about the oxidation process. Green tea originated in China, but its production and manufacture has spread to other countries in East Asia. All right, so look at our green tea. So many of us, we really drink green tea. All right, this is the one that's common to us. We are not so much a person that into black tea or the other ones. White tea may refer to one of several types of tea which generally feature young or minimally processed leaves of the same Camellia sinensis plant. All right, but it has not been exposed to a lot of air. All right, or not has been processed in any way. So when you look at it, it would have been clear. The color would have been clear. So this is also a tea. And for us as Jamaican, who used to the dark color thing, we say, man, this one is pale. All right, let's look at the oolong. Oolong tea is made from the leaves of the same camellia plant, and it's produced through a process including withering the plant under strong sun and oxidation before curling and twisting them. All right, so it is the same. As I said, the tea is just the same set of herbs, but it is the way in which they are done that give them these unique flavors. Favorite flavors. All right. So this is what our oolong. You see the look at it. You see how there already it is bent. So it's oxidized and bent into a kind of shape to give them that uniqueness about them. And this is the name that's given. So you notice the color is darker because of the oxidation process. All right. Teas from the camellia plant generally should be avoided as it also contains among its benefits caffeine. So these teas, they're high in caffeine, and therefore they can raise the heart or cause that is like palpitations, headaches, addictions, and other things. 11 milligram of caffeine is found in 100 milligram of tea. The amount of caffeine in a tea depends on the tea. The longer the tea is steeped in water, the more caffeine is present. All right. So there are some herbs, when we use them, we will tell persons to steep them like overnight and use them in the morning. Why? Because the longer they steep, the more potent that herb become, and therefore the more benefits will be derived from them. So the same, if you should have teas that are caffeinated and you keep them for a long time in the water, you will notice that when you just put them in, they will look a little pale, but the longer you keep them there, then the colors start changing into a darker shade. Okay, so let's look at some of the caffeine that you'd find in these beverages that are called tea. So in the white tea, you're going to find 30 to 55 milligram of caffeine in this cup. If it is a green tea, it's 35 to 70. The oolong tea, 50 to 75. If the black tea is 60 to 90, and their coffee is a whopping 150 to 200 milligram. So do you see what we are doing to ourselves? The level of caffeine that is in the coffee make it a very potent health hazard for many of us. So we can end up with the high blood pressure, the heart palpitations. We can end up with nervousness. We can end up with the severe depression because you'll have a high because of the caffeine, put you in an eye, and then it will just send you crashing. It will lead to insomnia, and the list goes on, right? I'm not really looking at the effect of caffeine so much as to look at the teas, but I just wanted to mention that. So the two greater harm to us would have been the black tea and the coffee. All right. All right, so herbal teas. This is what I know that we are talking about when we think of tea. So what I just said before was just to give you an idea of what really is tea. But for our common purposes, we are going to be talking about herbal teas, just using the word tea loosely. All right. So they're tisanes, are tisanes for some persons, and these are what the teas are supposed to be called. They are beverages made from the infusion or decoction of herbs and spices and other plant material in hot water. All right, this is what we call herbal teas by right. Common local herbal teas include our cerasee, our mint, hibiscus. Hibiscus is one of the most beautiful tea that we can have. all right, and very healing to the system, lower your blood pressure, lower your cholesterol, lower your diabetes, okay, very good for helping to put you to sleep, okay, that's just some of those things. And now let's look at how you should prepare your teas that you're having. Preparation of herbal teas. Herbal teas are medicine and should only be used in the event of an ailment. All right, so don't just take the tea for the sheer ache of drinking tea in the morning. If you're not treating something, all of these herbs, they have medicinal property in them and should not just be taken for just taking sake because you think that you're supposed to be drinking something in the morning. They are herbs and they have medicinal property and therefore only for those who have medicinal usage of them should they be taken. All right. So use generally 6 to 8 leaves of flowers to 4 to 8 ounces of warm water. Steep for 30 to 40 minutes in most cases to release the medicinal properties. All right. So we advocate, sometimes we think that if a little of something is good, then much more must be much better. That is not necessarily true. And a lot of time, the more you use, the worse off you are for using it because the system become overloaded. All right. So we normally give about 4 to 8 ounces of boiling water, and you steep this herb for 30 to 40 minutes so that the medicinal properly can be leached into the water. All right, and we don't use a lot of it. Depends on the herb, anywhere between 6 and 8 leaves we will use. Preparation of herbal teas. This, if there are seeds, barks, roots, and stems to the herbs that you are using, these should be boiled for 10 to 15 minutes. And then you want to steep them for up to 40 minutes to release medicinal properties. Right? Now, why we mention this is because seeds and barks and roots and stems, they are hard. They are very hard. And you just put in little water and it will not extract the medicinal properties from these herbs. So therefore, what you need to do is boil them. Turn down the stove low as let it start boil up, then turn down the stove low and then leave it a while so that it will boil for about 10 to 15 minutes, anywhere in that region. All right. And that way the medicinal properties will be released. You'll turn off your stove, leave it for about 40 minutes, and then it will extract all of those needed benefit that you intend to get from that herb. So like we have like white willow bark, it is a bark. We have the milk thistle seed. Oh, by the way, my white willow bark is excellent for pain. Milk thistle seed, they are very good for cleansing the liver. All right. Then you have the burdock root. It is a root. So there it is as a root that need to be boiled. All right. Your system cannot get the nutrients from it. And burdock root is excellent as a blood purifier. Very, very good. All right. And then you have the moringa, the stems of it. Then those also can be used and steamed. And moringa is one good overall medicine. Okay, so preparation of herbal teas. Persons may be instructed to steep some herbs overnight for particular benefits. When combining different parts of herbs as medicine, boil the hard parts first for 10 to 15 minutes, like the seeds, the bark, the roots, and the stem. Then add soft parts, such as the flowers and the leaf. Then allow to steep for 30 to 40 minutes. So you notice it is a process. And as we say, it is a medicine. So therefore, it is a process that you're going to go through with it. It's not just put it in there and just drink it. No, you are trying to get to the medicine. And by the way, let me mention that in some of our herbs, the medicinal part of it lies in different part of the plant. So for some plants, it is a bark. All right. Like when we are looking at those with menstrual problems, then we'd use like the cramp bark, and it is a bark of that herb. When we are looking at the usage of soursop for cancer, then you use the bark. If it's for worm, then you're going to use the leaves. So different part of a plant has its own medicinal benefits and should be consider what it is that you're doing. What do you want to achieve? All right. the dandelion flowers, beautiful dandelion flowers, then that is a flower. So you wouldn't do the root, boil the root with the flowers. No, you'd have boiled the root if you're using the dandelion root. And then after 15 minutes, you'll put the flowers in it, turn off your stove and leave it. All right. The leaves, such as your fever grass, this is a leaf, so you are going to know steep it for 40 minutes instead of boiling it. All right. Preparation of herbal teas. Herbal teas are not recommended for everyone. Some persons should not use some herbs, so it is important to know the effects of the herbal tea before using it. Like some antibiotics, some herbal teas should not exceed 6 to 7 days. For example, your golden seal. Now, golden seal is one powerful, extremely powerful herb that is nature's antibiotics without the side effects of antibiotics. But guess what? Just like a normal antibiotic that you'd have gotten in the pharmacy, this one you should not be taken for more than like 7 days because it has that same effect on the body. And normally, after we have given a person this golden seal for as an antibiotics, we normally give them probiotics after. But especially time like now, this is one good herb to use for now. All right, do not use herbal teas in excess. Please remember that. This may cause cirrhosis of the liver and other ailments. So what we are saying is that don't overdo them. I remember when we were small and my mother, if you're not feeling well, she believes that everything happening to you is because you're bilious. That's her. Um, I'm not feeling well. I feel nauseous. Oh, you're bilious. And what she's running for? The Cersei. And she take a whole bunch of Cersei, put it in a pan, boil it and boil it till it was so extremely bitter. And then she give you a cup, maybe about 4 ounces, and put you on the wall and said, drink it. And of course, we have to drink it. And it was so extremely bitter that very soon you might start throwing up, right? You started vomiting and all of that. Whatever is inside come out of it. And they say, oh, it's because of the scarcity. You see that? It's because you were bilious. But it's the excess, the body start purging the system from it because it was too much and it will cause the body to be sick. So the body was literally getting rid of this poison because it's no longer a healer to the body. It now become very poisonous to the system. And that is why you can drink some of these things, and instead of healing you, they can make you sick. All right. And they can be very damaging to our livers also. So we need to be careful of that. All right. So let's look at some of our common herbal teas that we like to enjoy. All right, so we talk about the salicylic, and what are the effects of these? The leaves and stem are usually boiled or drawn into a tea and taken for a number of ailments, including hypertension, diabetes, parasitic worms, abdominal pains, and purging or detoxing the body and the blood. Sorcy is also used as a tea to reduce menstrual pains and to cure urinary tract infections. So it's very good. Sorcy is good, but it must be used in moderation. So 5 leaves in a cup of water is quite a plenty. We do not need more than that. All right, 2 3 leaves, it will give you the dosage that the body would have need for its own healing. Because what it does, it's not so much the herbs that's doing the healing. There are properties inside of that herb that stimulate the body to work. That's what it does, just stimulate the body to do its work. All right, and this is our lovely soil. Oh, by the way, let me mention this. It's not part of my presentation, but just let me mention this. This that when we're small, we would eat it like a sweet cup. This is very good for diabetes. All right, the bitter melon, very excellent for our diabetes. And see, this is what we are used to. This whole heap, boil down and look at the tea inside of here. All right, so they would boil that and then give you this to drink. Oh, and I tell you, this thing was bitter. All right, caution for Cersei. Overuse of Cersei can affect the liver. Use only 5 to 6 leaves to 4 to 6 ounces of warm water, steep for 15 to 20 minutes. Generally, herb tea should not be taken very hot as this will affect the system. All right, effects of teas. Let's look at our mint. The cooling sensation in mint teas comes from menthol an organic compound found in Mentha genus of mint family. In a biological sense, mint is a family of many plants that include much more than just what we call mint teas. Peppermint and spearmint, two of the most popular mint teas, both belong to Mentha genus and both contain menthol. All right, so that is the mint family that we are looking at, and all of us have sometime or the other been taking our quote unquote mint tea. All right, so let's look at the different kind of mint that we have. We have the wild mint, and this is more bitter and minty flavor compared to peppermint and to spearmint. What's the benefit we'll get? Helps with diarrhea, rich in antioxidant, alleviates nausea, and can help with allergies, good for our skin, and it also fights cancer. All right. Sage or lemon balm also belong to the mint family. They lack the cooling note because they don't contain menthol. The whole mint family includes over 7,000 plants. All right. So the whole mint, it is a wide range of plants. So many of the little ones that we are taking, they are actually from the mint family. All right, but we are used to black mint and peppermint, which is peppermint is the most widely used one. All right. It is not an old plant. It's a crossbreed between spearmint and water mint. Peppermint may have antioxidant and antiviral, antimicrobial, and anti-tumor activities. So it's a very good herbal tea to use. All right, so what are some of the benefits? Strong, pungent taste with a prominent flavor of menthol, aids in digestion, relieves headache, freshens our breath, reduces stress, remedy for flu, opens up clogged sinuses, and it helps with menstrual cramps. Spearmint, although it belongs to the same biological genus, is less sharp and more sweet. This is because the menthol content is much lower than in peppermint. Studies show that spearmint may be beneficial for improving memory, respiratory system, relieving pain, and dealing with allergies. Okay? Delicate flavor and sweet fragrance. That's our spearmint. Helps with digestive issues. They are an antioxidant. Can aid women with hormone imbalance. Ladies, this is for you. May improve our memories, fight bacterial infections, and it relieves stress. All right, and we have the field mint and we have the water mint that were mentioned before. All right, lemon balm and sage. I need us to look at this one. Both lemon balm and sage also belong to a mint family. While the flavor of lemon balm may give an impression that this plant is a distant relative of the regular mint teas, sage is much more different. It's interesting that both of them share the most important health benefits with real mint teas. They may be used for digestive problems and dealing with stress. All right, so these are excellent. This is what it looks like. And this is what your sage would look like. All right. Let me mention this one. When we're small, hibiscus was what we used to clean shoes because it make everything black. All right. But it has a wonderful fragrance and it's very good for building the blood. It is a genus of flowering plants in the mallow family, right? It is very good in the warm climate. So as much as possible, we should try to plant our hibiscus. And as we look at it, you want to see why. No, these are some various kinds of hibiscus. We are very familiar with this one, the red one, because that's what we use mostly. All right. But there's a lot of variety of them. No, what are the benefits? Let's look at this because we use it here and I can tell you that it's very beneficial. Hibiscus can help with weight loss and cancer. It can also help relieve conditions that include upset stomach, high blood pressure, bacterial infections, fever, and blood sugar. We use it specifically for the high blood pressure and for the blood sugar. We get very good result with it using this herbal plant. All right. Now, I had mentioned the golden seal, and I'm saying every household must try and keep some golden seal, especially for time like this. Its roots and leaves have been used in traditional medicine to treat a variety of ailments, especially those involving infections or inflammation. Currently, golden seal is promoted as a dietary supplement for colds and other respiratory tract infections, allergies, rhinitis, hay fever, ulcers, all of those. Some people use golden seal for digestive disorders, including stomach pain and swelling, gastritis, peptic ulcers, colitis, diarrhea, constipation, hemorrhoids, and intestinal gas. And I tell you, this list is not exhausted. There are many other uses that we have for golden seal. All right, but just to name a few. And this is what it looks like. See, it is a root. All right, this is a part where we normally concentrate on. All right, extremely bitter, very, very, very bitter. Oh, but such a powerhouse. All right, this is how it grows. Always keep a pack with you. All right. Golden seal is used for urinary tract infection. That we use that a lot for that. Internal bleeding, bleeding after childbirth, liver disorder, cancer. Anybody dealing with cancer must be using golden seal. Chronic fatigue syndrome, jaundice, gonorrhea, fever, pneumonia, malaria, whooping cough, and an eating disorder called anorexia. Women use golden seal for vaginal pain and swelling and menstrual period pain. All right, very. My little daughter, she will be 16 the 22nd of March, and from she was small, maybe about like 5, 6, she had known the benefits of golden seal. As bitter as it is, I have it as a powder. She doesn't take it as a tea, but she will take like a quarter teaspoon when she was younger. Now it's about half of a teaspoon. As soon as she feels as if there's anything in her throat, or she's coming down with anything, she said, "Mom, I'm not feeling too well. Where is the golden seal?" And she will take that and she'll put it in her mouth and she'll swallow it. No, I'm not that brave, but she does that, and whatever was happening, it is gone. All right, very, very powerful herb. All right, so in summary, we want to know and understand the true meaning of teas. Use herbal teas for medicinal purpose and not for sport or not for casual drinking. We should know the benefits of the teas that we are having and the cautions before we use them, and that we should be moderate in tea consumption. Now, that is the end. I hope that this bit of information was helpful to you, and that the next time you take up a cup of tea, be it the real tea or hot beverages that we call tea, that we'll have a little more respect for why we are taking it, and that we will do it for the health benefit and not so much just to satisfy our our mouth. Tea was given to us. And if you look at the scripture, I cannot finish without saying this. If you look at Psalm 104, verse 14, the Bible tells us that God gave man, he said that he gave grass for cattle, for the cattle, yes, given grass for the cattle, and he has given herbs for the service of man, so that man can go about his labor. In other words, he had given us the herbs so that herbs can heal us, so that we can go to work. All right, so herbs, we must respect them, understand them, that there are things that are given to us by God, and because they are given to us, then we should be using it for his name, honor, and glory, and that we should take care of our bodies, because our bodies, it's a temple of the living God. We are not our own. We are bought with a price. Therefore, everything that we do, we should seek to glorify God in our bodies. We have a responsibility to take care of ourselves. Therefore, whatsoever we eat, 1 Corinthians 10, verse 31. Therefore, whatsoever you eat, whatsoever you drink, whatsoever you do, anything that you do, remember that you must always do it all for the glory of God. God bless you, and I pray that this was beneficial for you.